Guys, I hate to say it, but something came in and I was super excited about it. And after I've carried it, you see it on the table in front of you. This is that Katsu knives that came in from Neves Knives. Jared sent this along. It is very, very similar to a Rockstead. And I'm both impressed and disappointed. So let's turn this around and take a look at it from above and talk about what I found this first day that I've carried it. Guys, like I said in the intro, I'm both impressed with this and a little disappointed. This is a Katsu Knives folding knife. It doesn't really have a name. I did try to look this up a little bit. I tried to sequester myself from price, but what I'll tell you is very, very similar to a Rockstead in a lot of ways, really similar in appearance, in the grind, quality of materials, the way it feels in hand. It is a very, very cleanly done piece at a much more affordable rate than a Rockstead. It's done in ZDP189. This is a Damascus version of this, like ladder Damascus. They have just a plain ZDP189 blade with sandblasted titanium scales. This is a titanium handle that has obviously been blackened and then tumbled with a stone wash. It is in a frame lock and it is insanely smooth. It doesn't have a flipper tab. It has a top flipper of sorts that is very akin to some of the Japanese knives that you see, the Higo no Kamis, that have that little tab, and then that winds up being your lock. So I do like that. It is a gorgeous, gorgeous knife. Polish on this has been done, fully convexed all the way down to the edge. There is a little bit of a secondary grind on this. I'm not going to fault them, considering this is less than half the price of a Rockstead that is in comparable, a comparable Rockstead, like literally less than half. Sorry, I keep getting notifications on my Amazon Alexa. So at any rate, like I said, less than half the price, and it is gorgeous. Lockup on it is brilliant. It is comfortable in hand, and it is nightmare sharp. You're going to see that in the video that you're seeing in the overlay here while I'm continuing to top. It's beautifully done. The ladder Damascus on this, even though I'm not a fan of Damascus, this is done very well, and it's more like a laminated blade with a little flourish. If I was to get one of these, it would be the plain ZDP189 version, which is cheaper than this. Pocket clip, beautiful pocket clip, comfortable in hand. You've got some jimping on here that is okay-ish. You got really good access to the lock bar. And like I said, the action on it is just about drop shot, which is frightening when you realize how sharp this actually is. It is just insanely sharp. It's terrifying how sharp it is. So there's a lot of really cool things about this, and this is my first carry of this knife. But I will say, this is not going to be a real long video. I've found that this is beautiful for some things. I was doing some wood cutting. I was doing feather sticking, and just like a lot of bushcraft knives with the full convex, it did really, really well at it. It strops back up as you would expect, the same way that a Rockstead would. Just a little bit of polishing compound. I have some polishing compound. I'm following the steps like you would with a Rockstead. A little bit of polishing compound to strop up the blade on mine. It's leather. They recommend denim. And like I said, it's just very, very acutely sharp, and it is gorgeous. But I will say the disappointment comes when you look at some of the bad side of it, like the downside, which first time I've ever used a knife that is very similar to a Rockstead. So I think that might be, some of it. But we'll talk about the bad stuff right after you hear from Coffee Brand Coffee. Guys, you guys know I love coffee. I even have my own personalized coffee mug. But did you know that a lot of the coffee companies out there take a lot of the money that you give them that they should be throwing back into the company to make a better product and turn it into activism dollars? Coffee Brand Coffee does not do that. They take no stance politically any direction. They take all the money that they make and try to make a better product. So if you want to support this channel and a company that I absolutely do like the fact that they don't lean either direction politically, check out Coffee Brand Coffee. There's a link down below that will save you 5% at checkout, or you can use the coupon code CrazySharp, all one word, capital C, capital S, CrazySharp, all one word. They also have cold brew coffee, teas and cocos, freshly ground and roasted to order. So check them out, support them, and support this channel. So as brilliantly done as this is, and as well as it does certain things, cutting paper, cutting wood, like I said, doing some tasks like feather sticking, does a very, very good job of it. Strops right back up. ZDP189 is one of my favorite steels. Terrifyingly acutely sharp. There are a couple downsides to this knife. First and foremost, you've got this big area here. As much as I like really good access to the lock bar, that means that you've got a very thin spot on one part of your finger there, as opposed to this being a little higher. I think they took that out too far. They definitely took that down too far. You really don't marry up against that, and it puts a lot of pressure on that finger, especially when you're doing some heavier cutting tasks. The jimping. The jimping is just there for show. I'm not a fan of jimping for show. I don't find it to, if it's not functional, I don't want it. And I don't like the fact it's down here. I can absolutely feel that in my fingers, and it's a bit of a hot spot. Pocket clip is really good, but it's a little proud. And if you're trying to do any heavy cutting, it definitely, with that being, having jimping there and then the pocket clip standing up a little proud, it does dig into your hands a little bit because it's kind of a narrow knife. It is a nicely contoured and broad handle, but it's not enough to offset the fact that that's a really proud pocket clip. And then the final thing is, I've never really gotten to use a Rockstead or a knife similar to a Rockstead like this with this type of grind. It's not great for cardboard. If you get into thick cardboard, that is really kind of transitions back thick. I don't know if maybe it's binding up because of the Damascus, which it's not a perfectly smooth surface and you're getting some friction, but I find that this did not cut through cardboard, thicker cardboard, anywhere near as well as I had expected, as acutely sharp as it is. This definitely, testing side by side, did a much better job in the same thickness of cardboard. So I'm kind of disappointed with it, but the overall thing about it is it's so brilliantly done that even though it does have some limitations, it's just a gorgeous, gorgeous knife. I would not pass one of these up. Especially considering they're so similar, so very, very similar to the Rocksteads in the way that they're done and the blade and everything, that I wouldn't pass it up, considering I saw these for $199 on their website, just the plain ZDP, I believe. I did not look down to see what the price was on this. I know I could have looked harder and found it, but I'm not sure. But just the fact that it is $200 is less than half of the price of a similar Rockstead. So Rockstead killer, maybe. So guys, let's turn this around, do some final thoughts, send you out about your day. So yeah, guys, us knife guys get things built up in our head as to what we're gonna get out of something, and sometimes they just don't meet the expectations. Is this an amazing knife? Yes, and I'm gonna carry it for the entire time that Jared will let me borrow it. Because I do love it. It does some things exceedingly well. I just found that it's not an all-around good performer for everything. I have some knives that are like that, and I find it disappointing. The fact, though, that this knife is almost identical to some of the Rocksteads that I have had come in, but I could not use, at the price point, I find amazing. This is an incredible knife. And I imagine that even though this is done in some higher-end materials, it's going to be comparable in price to the one that I talked about in the video, which was just a straight ZDP189, which would be my preference. So check them out, Katsu Knives. I don't have an affiliate link with them. You can always just check them out on your own. If you want to support the channel, guys, there's a handful of ways you can do it. Like, share, and subscribe is one of the best ways. It pushes videos up the algorithm. But financially, you can do it by buying stuff you're probably going to buy anyway. First and foremost, coffee. Coffee Brand Coffee is this video's sponsor. I have a link down below. It's easier than using the coupon code, saves you 5% at checkout. It is a guilt-free purchase, no affiliation with any political leanings, and they have a money-back guarantee, so it's a no-risk endeavor. They will give you your money back and take the product back. Tempered Trails, Nathan has got a bunch of stuff he's starting to offer. He's got kilties for boots, the best laces you're going to find. He's starting to do hand-sewn wallets. There's a lot of stuff he's going to offer. He also designed the Enigma multi-tool. You can use coupon code CrazySharp to save 5% there, Coffee Brand Coffee, or also at Rosecraft Knives and Ferrum Forge Knife Works. So that coupon code CrazySharp, all one word, works across all of those. I have an Amazon store down below. Take that link, pin it to your browser, make Jeff Bezos pay me. You don't even have to get dressed to do it. It doesn't cost you a penny extra. And I have a membership down below. Join the membership, please. It supports the channel. It is my preferred way for you to support the channel rather than just dropping super chats or super thanks on videos, which is like tipping. I absolutely love having members. We've set up a lot of stuff. We have a gilded server that everyone has access to. I give exclusive content that everyone has access to. The gilded server is a place where everyone hangs out. It's where I announce the winners of the giveaways that I do for the members on there, the baseline and premium guys. And the premium guys have access to a sharpening tutorial series here on YouTube behind that paywall. Guys, that's it on this one. I love you all. Keep it clean in the comment section. If it's your birthday, happy birthday. And I'll see you in the next video.